Hey guys, and welcome to the Lawrence Garden Farm. If you don't already subscribe, feel free to click subscribe and don't forget to click that bell so you don't miss any future videos. All right, let's get on with the video here today. So today I'm actually harvesting this raised bed right here. I know it looks almost empty because I'm almost done, but on this side I had just like 3 potato plants. And if you take a look at that bucket, I think that's a really great harvest for potatoes. I didn't grow them the right way either. And what I mean by that is I planted the potatoes down under the ground and just let them grow up straight. I didn't continue to mound them like you should. As you mound potatoes, potatoes continue to grow along the whole stalk of that plant. But if you don't mound them, there's only a few potatoes that grow inside and underneath the ground. So that's kind of what I did. The only reason for that this year was because I didn't have a lot of time to maintain them and keep up with them. But that is still an awesome harvest for only 3 or 4 plants that were over here for not doing things the correct way. So at least you know that you can still get a pretty good harvest by just, planting them and letting them go. And you always know when potatoes are ready because the stalks will start turning yellow and then they'll fall over. And then the next thing over here were our beans. So what I do is I actually just pull the whole bean plant and then I pick the beans off, because once I pick the beans off, I'd have to pull them anyway. And that way you can turn the plant upside down and you see all of, oh, I missed a few. You can see all of the beans that are on the plant right there. And then these will go into our big compost pile on the other side of the property. So we only did a small little section here of beans because we did a really long row of them in our ground bed, which I will show you. And those ones will be used for canning. These ones here will be used for just eating, fresh eating and cooking for dinner. So they'll hold really well for about, I'd say about a week, but we'll probably finish these in the next few days. Look at all these potatoes I harvested just from planting potatoes and just letting them be. And then here's the beans in the bag in here. So it's a really good harvest off of just a small little section in the garden. I mean, that's a lot of fresh eating and cooking for the next lunches and dinners for this week. There's a lot in there. The girls are riding right now, so I'm going to bring some of these out there and see if they want some fresh snacking. You girls want any beans? No. Look at them. Look at all of them.
Let me see.
You want to grab a handful?
Let me see. How much was it?
There you go.
Let's see how much.
Here you go, Selah. Grab a handful. There you go. All right. So now I'm going to take you guys out to our ground bed to kind of show you guys a little bit of what's going on out there. All right, here is the ground bed. So we've got a lot of different things growing in here. Last year this was just the pumpkin patch, but this year my sisters and I, we combined all of our seeds and went in on the pumpkin patches together on my dad's property. So we still did do a few rows of pumpkins, but these are just some additional rows for pie pumpkins and a couple extra carvers, just because we decorate a lot with those. And I didn't want there to be not enough, because I put them all over and our house ends up looking like pumpkin house of the community. The pumpkin house, and it looks cool with our dark exterior as well. But so these rows here are the cut and come again zinnias, so that's going to be nice. And then I did some sunflowers just to have that beautiful fall feel out here when we're grabbing some pumpkins. And then here's the row of beans that I was talking about here. And then we have a little bit of popcorn right there. I don't know how well that's going to do, but we'll see. And then here we go. We've got pickles, the cucumbers that we're going to pickle them nice. And we just love fresh canned pickles over store-bought. It's just so much better. And then over here is a little row of melons, which they're coming pretty slowly down this row, and I think it's just because it's been a little drier. So I could give them a little water. And just the other day I threw in a few tomato plants that we had left over in the greenhouse because I figure, you know, what does it hurt to just throw them out here? If they produce, they produce. And if they don't, they don't. Not a big deal. And then over here we've got more sunflowers. And I like to plant the sunflowers kind of around the pumpkins a little bit. You don't need to do a ton of them, but we did a few extra just because I always find I find the biggest pumpkins in the shaded area. So that way they can trail up the sunflowers, trail in between them. So we'll see how that works out this year. But yeah, I got to give these new tomato plants some water. And a lot of times I just plant my tomatoes laying down. I find that they do really well that way. I don't do a lot of caging. I think you guys kind of saw that just even from our raised beds. I let things do what they do. And but yeah, I just was in here the other day, pulled a lot of weeds, but it's looking really nice. So I'm really excited to see what goes on in this beautiful garden. And this ground bed's doing really well, but I do wish I would have just done all sunflowers. I talked about in the last video how our tiller broke, so I haven't been able to get in here for weeds, and at least with sunflowers it kind of suppresses them and they grow above them. But over here we've got just regular cut flowers and different flowering flowers to where, you know, the weeds are kind of growing in them, and that's what you're going to end up seeing over here. But oh well. And I'm really loving that structure that Jason built for me this year. It's just really, really beautiful, and it just looks so good. So next year it'll look even better once we add more cut flowers right in there. So a lot of things for next year will be kind of finishing the garden space and kind of adding like living walls to kind of separate spaces a little bit more, and we'll share all of that next year. This year we didn't get to a lot of our projects, mainly because of lumber being so high, so we had to kind of cut down on a lot of our ideas, but that's okay because it gave us a little bit more time to just enjoy our garden as is, because it's beautiful as is and there doesn't need to be anything more, but it's just what we enjoy doing. We enjoy creating these spaces, and it's fun. Keeps us busy, keeps us strong and out of trouble. Well, I better stop talking and get these beans in the house where it's cool. We finally got nice warm weather again. Oh, look at these gorgeous snapdragons here. Oh my goodness. These are the Madame Butterfly mix. Loving them so much. They're so pretty. Okay. Oh, I found a little raspberry on my way. I normally tell the girls, but I've hardly had any raspberries this year. This is the Ann variety and I love it. It's a golden raspberry. Golden raspberries tend to be my favorite. Very good. Very, very good. I see some more too. They taste like, you know when like you have a piece of candy and it's flavored raspberry? That's what it tastes like. Candy flavored raspberry. Super good. Well, let's go take a peek and see what Jason's doing. He's making a lot of noise over there. So I think he's kind of trimming some weeds on the berms so they don't overtake the wildflowers. Wildflowers are just in their first year, so sometimes they can get a little overpowered. So this is where we come down to this other part of the property. It's on the other side of the waterway. And this area right now isn't used as anything, but we wanted to have coverage from the road, so we added these berms, and now we're adding lawn and wildflowers, kind of a combination mix just to kind of get it to fill in. That way too, then we'll put trees on here, which we've already got a nice larger tree right there, and some other little whips. Ooh, ow, I dipped down in a little pothole there. Other whips to kind of start giving us some really good coverage. I want this all to be just trees and wildflowers, cover us in. And then this area up front here would actually be a really good pasture area. There's Jason. cut my wildflowers.
Huh?
Don't cut my wildflowers.
Well, I know, but there's more weeds than wildflowers, so we're gonna have to
Redo it.
I think, yeah.
This is part of the berm that we couldn't get to because we were only able to get sprinklers onto the first half.
Yeah.
Due to an early drought that we had in the beginning, but
Yeah, so it's pretty much just from here going all the way back to there. We need to,
the beginning point.
yeah, we need to reseed all of this here. Over at the end here, there's some cool clusters of like the big, like these ones that grew into like really big clusters. So hopefully we get all that again, and we'll mix in some clover and grass too.
I see a lot of the bluet mountain coming in, which is this blue flower down there. And that's what we have a lot of on the front berms that were early spring.
Sure you could hear.
I almost feel like we need to cut some of that stuff down to let new stuff kind of fill in, and plus when it drops down too, it will reseed, you know, because when you cut it down it falls to the ground, so it helps it reseed a little bit for next year. But yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll give that a little cut, and then
Just to give it a cleaner appearance for now.
And then our berm over here, it's pretty much out of control, but it looks cool. I mean,
well, it's a ton of Queen Anne's lace, and
Yeah.
I almost think just leave it. Queen Anne's lace is one of my favorites. It's a huge beneficial bug attractor. So I almost say let's just, you know, keep that there and just leave it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think it looks
It's
good
my
how it
favorite
is. So.
weed.
Yep.
It's such an important one, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks nice too. We like the Queen Anne's lace, so.
Yeah, this is how they grow into a cluster. It almost looks like an alyssum. Let me see. They smell like poop.
Yeah, they do. And this little bug just came out on.
Yeah, so those bugs, I don't like those. They're destructive.
What are they?
I don't know, but they leave a lot of holes in plants, in flowers, in all that stuff. So I don't like them, but
It's like a mini beetle almost.
Yeah, but those white flowers smell absolutely terrible. Just like
They
those
do.
really pretty white daisies.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be sweet because they look nice, but no, they stink really bad. Let's just confirm that. Yeah, yuck. These are even worse than those daisies.
You know it smells bad. Why would you go in for a
Oh,
second?
it's like one of those things, you know, where you know it's not gonna work out, but you just do it anyways.
That's your life.
Yeah, yeah. So with the clover seeds that we have, this is what we would get, right?
So the clover seed that we got is actually really red. It's a red clover. It's red clover. So it's a more reddish color. It's really pretty.
Cool, okay.
Because we're going to lay clover down in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
Just to...
It spreads nice.
Yep.
Hopefully it'll keep weeds out.
And it's really cushy to walk on,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yep.
And it brings a lot of pollinators.
Yeah.
So here's the Queen Anne's lace, though. I just wanted to show this more up close because it's so beautiful. Ooh, look at those gaillardias blossoming up there.
Are those the red and yellows?
Yeah, and I've got so many plugs of those too.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like we could stick those around the area.
Yeah, you could, but I wouldn't do that until fall because then that way they'll just have a better chance of returning. If you do it now, it'll get dry, and then it's like, you know, they're gonna just die.
Yeah. Yeah, so we cut a little path through here recently so that we can kind of walk up against this, and when you come up here and you just stand up against this and oh my gosh, look at those the destructive bugs that we were just talking about that look like mini beetles. Look at they like the Queen Anne's lace, huh?
Yeah, but that's what also draws in the beneficials.
Yeah,
Is
yep.
you know, you're gonna have the bad with the good.
There's the
And-
good.
Yeah. You're gonna have the good with the bad, and that's what you want. That's how you're creating a balanced ecosystem in your garden.
That makes sense.
Right. So, you know, just don't worry about it. Oh gosh, I just love all this Queen Anne's lace.
I know, it looks really cool.
I'm a
here. I
lover
mean,
of it.
This is a pretty cool site right here. And it's the one thing I wanted to say when we were walking up to it is that if you just stand here and look at everything, the Queen Anne's lace in itself is beautiful just to see everywhere. But then there's butterflies, there's bees, there's so much movement and activity in here. It's really cool. It's really cool to just watch. You could sit here and just watch this.
All day long.
Yeah, you could pull up a chair and just sit back and enjoy.
I always love the cattails over here by the waterway.
Yep, it's our little wetlands area.
They're just so beautiful and wild.
Yeah, they've got just really cool. They're different than you know, the color of them, the texture, the cattails. It just adds another cool little layer of variety and texture to the property. It's kind of nice to have all different kinds of varieties that we can enjoy. So,
And this is the little area that we're working on right now.
needs some attention.
Lots of attention.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap this walkway here and this little private walkway into the wild space for the kids for exploring, to bring all of their findings back into the science shed. And there'll be a cute little path here with a little garden. So yeah, it'll look cute. Look really cute. Their gardens look awesome this year, the kids' gardens. And then we already have some hydrangeas here. They look real like there's nothing going on with them, but these are going to be a really nice large hydrangea, so you'll have beautiful big green foliage covering this space right here. I'd love to add some type of like a tree right here. Nothing that would like cover anything, just like something really unique, you know?
Okay, nothing that gets too big then?
Yeah, nothing too big, but just something special. And this berm here is actually looking amazing right now. So gorgeous. Here's another one of my window boxes. This is where I put a lot of like random leftover things. It looks really pretty. Well, we're gonna call it a day with the video. So if you don't already subscribe, feel free to click the subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss any future videos and vlogs. Anything you want to say, Jason?
I think I got distracted by this bird that's up at the
Birds
top of
always
the tree over
distract
here.
Jason.
They do, yeah. But no, I think that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the beautiful scenery that that we got going on here right now.
Okay, we'll see you guys later.